Hey guys, Plasma XL here. In this video, we're covering the two new banners. Both Yae Miko and the Kagura Verity look like pretty solid banners. Thankfully, neither of them are must summons, but there are some great options you may want to consider picking up. Unless you're a whale, then I generally suggest only summoning on banners where you're interested in getting half of, if not more, of the featured characters or weapons, so that way you aren't disappointed if your summoning session doesn't go your way. Let's get started. So first off, we have Yae's banner. I think Yae's going to be a pretty good overall character and play like a 5-star equivalent to Fischl. Fischl is also on this banner, as you can see. If you don't like Fischl's gameplay, then this banner is probably a skip for you. Essentially, both of these characters place down their own form of an electro turret and attack the surrounding enemies. The main difference is Yae is able to place 3 down and has a nuke burst, while Fischl can only place 1 Oz. Her burst essentially just gives her free elemental skill use. And at C6, Oz will attack as rapid as you are and acts sort of as an off-field machine gun for the electro element. She's really good early to mid game, and she makes a great electro battery for characters like Beto. Both Yae and Fischl will be good for electro charge and physical damage centered teams. Diona is a really good pickup if you don't already have her C6. Diona can fill multiple jobs at once on a team, and this is what makes her really good. She has a decent shield, decent healing, and is good at being a cryo battery. She also works well on the Noblesse set, and her C6 allows her for some additional buffs for elemental mastery. She's a great pickup for freeze teams, physical damage teams in need of a battery, and pretty much any cryo DPS, even a few mixed bag teams because of all her buffs that she's able to give. Toma, however, is the only character on the banner that's just okay. His shield capabilities are good, but unless you have him C4, you end up having to focus way too much on energy recharge in his stats to keep his shield reliable. This, and the fact that his damage multipliers are low and he can sometimes steal vaporizes from your main pyro DPS carry, means that he's not necessarily the best pickup unless you know what you're doing with him or you just really like him. The weapon banner is pretty solid too. The Kagura Verity is going to be Yae Miko's best in slot. If you happen to have an R5 Widsith already though, don't worry, the Widsith performs pretty much the same in the first rotation when its passive is procced. I'd only suggest going for the weapon banner 5 stars if you're cool with getting the weapon that's paired with it. This brings us to the second featured weapon, the Primordial Jade Cutter. The Jade Cutter gives characters crit rate, has good base attack, as well as bonus HP and attack based on your character's HP. It's a great overall weapon that works well on a bunch of different characters. The only con is that it's unnecessary on cryo characters running the Blizzard Striker set, who benefit much more from crit damage. Also, since the release of the Mid Splitter, which is just an overpowered weapon overall, the Jade Cutter has been left as more of a second best in slot on most of the current one-handed sword users. It's a pretty good weapon pickup regardless. I should note that even though it's a 5-star and it has HP scaling, it's not as good on support Bennett as you'd think, because its base attack is on the lower side compared to other weapons. The 4-star weapon selection this time around is decent. Frankly, there's no reason to be pulling for the Rain Slasher or the Eye of Perception unless you're trying to kill Oceanit with Fizz Damage Barbaras. The Rain Slasher, it's okay, but there's just better options for Claymore characters, so even though it's okay on like a select few, it's just not worth it. The Stringless is a solid weapon for Venti and Fischl. The Wavebreaker's Fin is a newer polearm, and it's actually pretty solid on characters that require a lot of energy recharge. Frankly, unless you're playing Polearm Impact, I think you only really need to focus on getting the catch, which is obtainable by fishing, so don't feel the need to summon for it. The Sacrificial Sword is a great one-handed sword, and it's Xingqiu's best in slot, because at high refinement, it nearly always gives him an extra skill to use, and the ER stat is a big help in always keeping his burst up on cooldown. So if you have Xingqiu and you don't already have this weapon at around R3, then it can't hurt to pick up more copies. Once again, don't summon on banners if you're uninterested in most of the characters and weapons on that banner. Good luck on your summons. If you are a spender, please spend responsibly. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.